Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much to the Global Conference on Medical Humanities for giving us this opportunity to present a paper on transformative learning that we have carried out in the Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo. I'm Santhushya Fernando, and my colleagues and I will be presenting this paper. Let me share the screen. So our paper is titled An Innovative Teaching Learning Method to Integrate Arts and Humanities for Transformative Learning in a Medical Curriculum. The Humanitas Programme, implemented at the Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, is a mandatory 2-hour program targeting the fourth-year medical students, and it was launched in 2021, conceptualized on a concept put forward by one of our authors, Professor Karunanayake. It utilizes the theory of transformative learning, which I will be explaining to you in a minute, and it uses art and humanities as the main tool of teaching rather than lectures, slides, presentations, etc. So the hypothesis is that the use of arts and humanities to trigger emotional responses will create or trigger sort of a transformative or a changing processing perceptions in the students, and transformative learning is thought to be shifting worldviews of students. So we implemented a program titled Teachers, Divine, Difficult, and Diminishing, and this paper will present the findings from that program that we implemented at the Humanitas program. So transformative learning has been explained by different sociologists and educational psychologists. Jacques Mezirow famously explained it in very simple terms. That is, learners who are getting new information are also evaluating their ideas and understanding. And when they are exposed to certain triggers, rather than simple acquisition of knowledge, they will dive into new ways of learning and finding meaning and connecting with this information that makes a fundamental change in the perceptions of the learner. So when you are going through a transformative learning process, you question everything or most of what you thought were true at the beginning, and they will make way for new ways of thinking and new ways of perceiving and new ways of analyzing and actualizing information and inputs. So in the Humanitas program, we use arts and humanities as the trigger for this transformative learning. So how did we develop this program on teachers? Caption Teachers, Divine, Difficult, or Diminishing. We tried to explore and challenge the prevailing cultured views on teachers and student-teacher relationships. So for the preparation of this program, discussions and reasoning was done amongst the authors of this paper, where we separated the 2 hours program into 3 segments. One about the prevailing predominant Asian theories on theories and perceptions on teachers. That is, that they are divine, they are all powerful, there is a power imbalance, there is an asymmetry of agency, and we featured art, literature, and cinema pertaining to this worldview. And then we discussed in the second segment the difficult teachers, the punishing teachers, the unforgiving teachers, teachers who implement harsh ways of teaching and evaluation, those who deviate from the human ideals and the other ideals of teaching. And then in the third segment, we discussed if the role of the teacher is diminishing in the age of AI and in the open society of the internet, where there is so much access for students to for different methods and an array of resources on the internet, and whether AI was replacing teachers and whether we are diminishing as teachers in this landscape. So to bring home these ideas, certain performances, songs, poems, dramatizations, film clips were used. Three academics were also invited to be the speakers at this Humanitas program, one from clinical medicine, another from the University of Visual and Performing Arts, Professor Liyanage, who's in this audience. Person from the clinical medicine was senior academic was Professor Karunanayake, and we also invited a junior academic, Dr. Aravindan, to be a resource person to discuss these features of art. We also obtained some comments and perceptions from Professor Fernando, who joined us from the audience. So we featured performances and features of art to feature and to represent teachers as knowledge brokers, trainers, role models, gurus or lifelong mentors, and the evolving role of the teachers. So this was the basic construct of the program. We started with the performance, and there would be an intellectual input and a discussion, moving on to the next performance and a similar intellectual discussion, and so on. So this was the basic structure of the presentation of the program. This Humanitas program was developed and presented by myself, and at the end we obtained the feedback of the students via a Google form, which had tick box type of rating type of questions, as well as open-ended questions. So the cohort of the students was 230. We had a very high attendance of 85.2%. The response rate to the questionnaire out of who attended was 67.8% of the attendees. And they rated this program with a very high level of enjoyment, and the art content was also rated, and most of them believed that it was either highly appropriate or appropriate for the theme that was discussed. About half of them, a little over half of them, reported that they reflected on the featured art, which is what we are actually trying to achieve through the transformative learning process. Some people said they reflected a little, that was about 36%. 24% of the students, about nearly a quarter, reported a strong shift in their views about the role of teachers when they compare to how they began at the beginning of the program. So this in this program, a very high percentage, over 90%, said that this program made them aware about the difficult dimensions of the student-teacher relationship. So for the open-ended, for the rated questions, whether a diminishing role of teachers as transmitters of knowledge, 12% strongly agreed that the role is diminishing, whereas 29.3% and 11.2% disagreed or strongly disagreed that the teacher's role is diminishing in the age of AI. And we also asked whether they felt that the teacher offered a human touch to the learning experience, and 31% strongly agreed, whereas 61% agreed. So we also did a qualitative analysis of the students' perceptions on what they are looking for teachers in their tenure in the medical faculty. So kindness topped the list, empathy, dedication, commitment, knowledge, competence, and patience were the major themes that emerged from a qualitative analysis of this program feedback. So coming to the discussion, Humanitas is a pioneering program using arts and humanities as a tool of teaching. The evaluation of the program on teachers revealed that the students largely enjoyed the program, that it challenged their prevailing views on the roles of teachers, and about a quarter of them reported a shift or a transformative process being triggered inside their minds. And teachers were also viewed as having multiple roles. And although the role of the teacher was reported to be diminishing in the age of AI, the students reported that they wanted teachers in their life and that they offered a human touch. So the core concept of Humanitas program is to use humanities and arts to trigger reflection and the transformative learning. We are still in the process of exploring and understanding our students through successive Humanitas programs feedbacks. Since this program, over 4 programs have been implemented on the Humanitas program, exploring different dimensions such as resilience, friendship, and planetary health, and so on. So we actually see a trend in the shifting a tendency or a transformative learning tendency in the students when we look at the data sets that we are obtaining, which will be presented in other scientific fora. So this is what we have to present on our experimental program, the Humanitas program, that uses arts and humanities as the vehicles for triggering transformative learning. The questions will be taken by my colleagues. If you have any, thank you again for this opportunity given to all of us to present this paper at this global conference. Thank you very much.